Hi everyone, this is Kate Ellis-Davies. I'm your Programme Director for Psychology undergraduate programmes, and I'm giving you a closing the loop of our whole programme feedback event that we had this week from the brand new Psychology Hive. So that's your Student Centre for Psychology. We're in the first floor of ILS 2, so Institute for Life Sciences 2. There's a video on the Instagram pages for psychology that shows you going from Vivian over to here, so you can see the route. But yeah, this is our fabulous space. So you've got brilliant workspaces. We're going to be having lots of events here. You've got some workstations here, little pods here as well for meetings and having chats, and some more pods over here. And this is where you'll have lots of the office hours that staff are having, as well as events we're going through. So we had the feedback event in here this week for the whole programme. Thanks to everyone that came along. And here's just a bit of a summary of where we were with the feedback. So students really loved the idea of having more events in here, and we're thinking about all the things kind of you could do in here. So this event, this space is always open for students. You can come in here and use it. You don't need any card access to get in. It's on the first floor. Come across that bridge and you'll be in the Hive. So we're doing stats drop-in sessions here with Ian Walker every week. We're going to be doing watercolour stress relief sessions here as well. We're going to be talking to PhD students and seeing if they want to present the research that they're doing here up on the boards here, so that undergrads can get more of an idea of PhD students' work, what they do, how they get onto PhD programs, etc., making more of a link here. And the PhD students are actually going to have their spaces here for working as well on this floor. So that's the new things about the Hive. Look out from your student reps, Psychology Society, and Heather Watkins, who leads all of the kind of interaction between staff and students as well. In terms of the community side of things, there'll be loads of announcements coming through for that. Keep an eye on that. So other things that we got some feedback on, in terms of ways in which students get feedback on their learning and how they develop and getting that feedback on time. By and large, students were really happy with getting their feedback on time, that it was useful, that they could use that assessment feedback to progress and develop, which is great to hear. Feedback 5 again was coming up again and again as a useful thing in teaching sessions that allows the lecturers to know that what the students were taking away from the session, and for students to, as a group, have an idea of where there's already existing knowledge, and that might be things that you touched on and were mentioned in A-level, where the gaps are, where that needs to be advanced, that knowledge up to degree level, and what's really novel as well. So all of that is really helpful for us to know, as well as the module feedback, the mid-module feedback that students were talking about, the nice closing the loop you're getting from module leaders as well. So that's all fantastic. Things and areas you want to develop on from the feedback we got, I'll touch on a few of these, and there'll also be an announcement with some more detail on these as well, which will be on the Canvas Hub pages as well. You can go through. So in terms of qualitative research methods, there was real interest in that and a desire to have that earlier in the degree programme. We are talking to the staff that deliver those sessions and thinking about some innovative ways that we can have qualitative methods earlier in that programme. In terms of year 2 students, thinking about what options you want to choose for next year, we've opened up the systematic reviewing module for joint honours students this year, which is brilliant. That means any topic that you want to deep dive into, but that's not feasible to get done in an undergraduate project, can be a target for doing a systematic review on as well. So that'll be Sci 327. Lots of other optional modules are available for students, and we're going to be having events in the Hive with module leaders from different modules, so you can have a chat to them, hear more about those modules, and we'll also be having videos going up this month and the next month on the YouTube channels as well, so keep an eye on that and on the Canvas Hub pages. So by and large though, the new modules we've got on the roster have all been well received this year, which is fantastic. And we're keeping the strengths we have in clinical and forensic, in environmental and educational developmental side as well as some really niche specialist areas within our staff strengths as well. So you've got that beautiful link between the research that our staff do and the teaching that we deliver, and that link between the research that we do and the teaching that we do was something that came back through the feedback event this week as something that students really enjoy, as well as authentic assessments. So those assessments that aren't divorced from the work that we do outside of university and actually play into its strengths. So students really loved having authentic assessments that they could put into their CVs, talk about in interviews, that they did work in their assessments that really linked to real world work as well. So that's a real strength that we're seeing, and we're really definitely going to continue with that as we progress. And then the other side of things is office hours, just a reminder of those. Every staff member has office hours every week. Mine will be in the Hive every week this semester. And unless your staff member's away, then they'll communicate when the alternative office hours are. But that should be, if they're teaching this semester, that'll be on the Canvas materials for the module they're teaching on. If they're a personal tutor, that should be on the personal tutor Canvas page. And if you're not sure when theirs are, you can just always contact them and they'll let you know when those are. So those are some highlights from the Canvas event, the drop-in event for the whole programme. The other side of things as well is that we now have live the NSS, which is for final year students, and the SES, which is for first and second year students. And that is a national event students giving feedback on their programme. I can tell you 5 examples off the top of my head of things we've taken from the NSS and the SES and developed and improved our programme as a result of your feedback. Feedback 5 is one of those. Having a student centre like the Hive is another one that came from that kind of feedback. It's vitally important for us that we get that feedback, and we will close that loop and let you know actions we're taking as a result of it. I'm going to put links to the big survey website that takes you through to NSS or SES, depending on the year of study that you're in. Please do take 5 minutes to do that. We really appreciate it. And I promise we use that feedback to drive development in our programme. I loved seeing everyone yesterday. I look forward to seeing all of you that I'm teaching this semester. But also, if you want to get in touch about the programme in general, get in contact with me. It's k.ellis-davies@swansea.ac.uk, or come along to my office hours. Okay, I hope to see you soon. Bye.